Back in March, we met with Maci Joncich after the Coronado senior made the 18-athlete initial roster for the women's flag football U.S. national team. Well, on Monday, we found out that the defending state champion will officially rep Nevada and her country overseas.
2 years ago, there wouldn't have been this opportunity for me to do this, and I wouldn't have even thought about doing this.
At 17, the Cougar star became the youngest to ever make the cut for Team USA's final 12-athlete adult roster, punching her ticket to Finland, where she'll compete in the Flag Football World Championships in late August. Here's her reaction to the news, and be sure to grab some tissues.
You should be proud of what you've done up to this point.
First of all, they sit you down in a room full of 4 powerful people and make you all stressed out, and then they're like, you know, it was a really tough decision.
It's a tough decision that we've made collectively, but we wanted to welcome you to the active 12 roster.
You know, just an overwhelming amount of joy and gratitude, just because the journey has been so long, and to finally reach this point is just so exciting.
I told myself I wasn't going to cry.
That capped off 3 grueling days of scrimmages in Charlotte, where the recent Coronado graduate and University of Florida enrollee was used all over the field. Joncich teams up with players in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, showing that hard work pays off, as a Las Vegas local makes this final roster for the 2nd straight year.
Years and years of practice and games and tournaments and, you know, flying across the country to, you know, get my name out there.
Yeah, there we go.
Seeing that it's now in the Olympics, it just kind of lit a fire underneath me, and hopefully for other people too, you know?
Flag football will be an Olympic sport starting in the 2028 Los Angeles Games for men and for women. But Joncich and other high schoolers across the valley are wasting no time picking up the game and calling it their own.
The game is growing exponentially, so seeing that physically happen in your home state is super cool. Because, you know, growing up here, and when I was little, it was just, flag football was just for the boys, and it was just like something you could do on the side just for fun or whatever. But, you know, now having it in high schools and, you know, winning state championships, you know, it's the best feeling ever. And to be able to continue that and to push it to the next level has just been so fun.
Joncich will stay in Henderson throughout the summer before going to Charlotte for training camp in late July and heading to Finland for the World Championships in the last week of August. From Coronado High School, I'm Nick Walters. All right, Maci, so we saw the waterworks. You know, where did that emotion come from whenever you found out the news?
Yeah, I mean, it was so overwhelming. I mean, first of all, they sit you down in a room full of 4 powerful people and make you all stressed out, and then they're like, you know, it was a really tough decision, but congratulations. Like, you know, I don't know, it was very stressful, but then you know, just an overwhelming amount of joy and gratitude, just because the journey has been so long, and to finally reach this point is just so exciting.
It looked like a culmination of a lot of hard work. You know, what went into making this team?
Yeah, I mean, years and years of practice and games and tournaments and, you know, flying across the country to, you know, get my name out there is really the most important part. And, you know, doing all of these tournaments and everything is just kind of seizing the opportunity. And just, I needed to work hard to get to where I am today, and I was happy when it turned out how it went.
So take us through what the training camp was like, you know, that kind of the competition.
Yeah, no, the competition there was incredible. I mean, the weekend was full of practices and scrimmages and, you know, throwing in plays, throwing in defenses, just trying to get to know the team and what everybody can really do, because we weren't all together, we weren't all, you know, working together until this weekend. So, you know, having those scrimmages back to back to back, you know, it's very tiring, it's very grueling. Everybody was exhausted at the end of it, but you know, it was overall so much fun, and everybody really, really enjoyed it.
Whenever I saw you last time, we talked a lot about the growth of women's flag football, and now you've been competing with some of the best in the nation, and also on a stage that's the biggest stage you've been on so far in your career in flag football. You know, so just tell us what you've learned even more about, you know, how fast this sport is growing.
Yeah, I mean, my journey it feels like it's been, you know, so long, but you know, looking back at it, like, I'm only 17 years old right now, but you know, it's it feels like an exponential amount of growth within myself and within the game itself, because 2 years ago there wouldn't have been this opportunity for me to do this, and I wouldn't have even thought about doing this. So seeing that it's now in the Olympics, it just kind of lit a fire underneath me, and hopefully for other people too.
And you mentioned that Nevada and Florida, they got to be two of the biggest states out there when it comes to flag football, especially for women. For Nevada, more women like you doing this, and we saw one last year as well. How cool is this, not just for like the country, but even the Valley, to have this for people like you?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing opportunity, but just because, as we talked about, the game is growing exponentially. So, seeing that physically happen in your home state is super cool. Because, growing up here, and when I was little, it was just, flag football was just for the boys, and it was just like something you could do on the side just for fun or whatever. But, now having it in high schools and having it, winning state championships, it's the best feeling ever. And to be able to continue that and to push it to the next level has just been so fun.
So you're one of 12 that are going to be representing the country over in Finland, but you're the youngest, and even the youngest to ever make this team. How special of an honor was that for you?
Oh, so incredible. I mean, the women that I made the team with, and that I even tried out with, those 60 women, they're all so awesome, and the skill level is just like nothing that I've ever seen before. And not even that, they're just like such great people, and the experience is really what can get you so far. And I think that since I've been playing for so long, I was able to, hang with these women who are so good and, so poised and everything like that. But really, they've taken me under their wing, and, they've made me feel like I'm not 17 years old among these women. They feel like I'm one of them, and, it just makes it more fun, in my opinion.
So if someone out there already knew about your game, they saw how many touchdowns you had thrown in a single game this past season, what is your role going to be like for this team, or is it still kind of evolving?
Yeah, so it's definitely evolving. You never know what can happen within the next few months leading up to Finland. But as of right now, I'm just offensive utility player. I'll be playing some quarterback, center, receiver, slot and wide out, and I'll be doing some defense too at rusher, I believe. So yeah, I'm all over the place, but that's how I like it.
That's cool. So take us through your summer. Like, what are the next 3 months going to be like? Are you preparing? And just take us through from now up until you are, taking snaps in Finland.
Yeah, so we have training camp 2 coming up at the end of July, starting July 25th, where we're going to meet in Charlotte and scrimmage and do plays, all of that. But leading up to that, even we have Zoom calls as teams and individual calls with coaches just to make sure we're all on point. And then after that, I believe we're being flown out to LA to scrimmage with the select teams, who are like the 20U women's teams and all of that. And then right after that, in August, training camp 3, and then we fly from training camp 3 straight to Finland.
I love it. That's exciting stuff. Well, winding down here, you're not just representing the 3 letters on your chest, but also the field that we're on right now and the school that we're right next to. So to do this representing Coronado and the Las Vegas Valley, how does that add to how special this has been?
Yeah, it's an incredible feeling, because you live your whole life and you go to these schools and you live in the same town for forever. Like, all you want to do is make people proud and show how great your community truly is. And I think that doing this is definitely a step in the right direction, to helping out and to just representing everything. So yeah, it feels amazing.